Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I want to do an update video for Dino in order to celebrate that he had his solo debut of sorts. I really love and admire Dino, so I was like, I want to do something for his, I guess, to celebrate, and an update video was the best thing I could think of at the moment. So that's what we're gonna do. So in this update video is basically an individual reading, and we're gonna check his current energy, his career, his love life, and any healing messages that go through. And with all of that said, let's just kind of jump into it. And so let's start off with Dino's current energy to figure out how is he doing right now. We have the Empress, the King of Cups, and Strength Reverse. So it seems like he's doing very well for himself at the moment. The Empress is Venus energy, Strength is Leo energy, and the King of Cups is Cancer energy. So with these three cards, he is going through a very big transformation in his life. Of course, he just had his solo debut, so of course this is something very important for him, especially since we, as a carrot, we all know that he has wanted to go on his own for a while. So with the Empress, right now he feels very abundant, he feels very lucky, he feels like he can manifest anything in his life, that he can make anything happen. He feels like the fates, or he feels like destiny is on his side, because usually the Empress talks about the energy of someone who is in a very fertile mode, which of course it can mean like having kids, but in his case it's just that whatever project he works on is going to work out for him, because there's a lot of things that there's like a lot of good luck in his environment. There's a lot of potentials that will take off, so any project that he does, it will succeed. Also, the Empress talks about someone that's very confident, in a sense of someone that's very beautiful or very attractive. So right now he feels like he is attracting a lot of good opportunities, a lot of good people, that he's attracting a lot of good attention as well. So he feels like he's doing very well. So this brings me a lot of reassurance, because one of the things that I was debating on, I was like, should I do a reading where it's like a solo debut type of reading, where it's like someone's going to debut, what's going to happen? Or should I do something like, what does success mean to Dino? Because I was wondering, like, does he feel like he's doing well or not? But then I just decided to just do an update reading. Something a little bit more casual, but still celebrating his solo debut. So this Empress card is just telling me that right now he feels good. So I do feel that he feels successful. He feels like he's doing well, that everything's taking off nicely. He feels like he's being recognized for his work. So with this Empress card, it kind of tells me that right now he is in a state where he has completely surrendered to the outcome, or to like results. And what I mean by this is that right now he has this mentality where he's just going to do what he has to do. He's going to do what's within his power to succeed, and then he's going to allow things to just take its course. So that is like a very feminine energy type of vibe, and it kind of goes very well with this King of Cups, which is a very passive energy, very let me just see how the environment is doing and then I'll take action when necessary. So right now he's not full on pushing for his success, or he's not necessarily pushing for projects to work out. He's just kind of showing up and be like, okay, I'm just gonna show you who I am and let's see where that takes me, right? So I think right now he's in a very comfortable, confident place where he trusts that who he is will make him encounter the people that he needs to meet for his success and for his emotional satisfaction. Now, the other card that we have here is Strength Reverse. So I do feel that despite feeling very confident of where he is at right now, he is still working towards being kinder to himself and being a little bit more gentle, because Strength talks about having it does talk about someone that is very attractive, someone that is maybe even eloquent, someone that is very gentle. Is usually Strength shows this woman that is taming this lion. It is supposed to symbolize the inner strength that we have when we don't use violence, or when we don't fight. And in this case, with it in reverse, I do feel that one of the things that Dino's still working on is, even though he's confident in what he's doing right now, and he's in a very abundant or comfortable place for his career, one of the things that he's working on is how to be a lot kinder to himself, how to hype himself up. I'm not necessarily saying that he lacks the confidence. All I'm saying is that he's a very strict teacher with himself. So this strength card reverse, I do feel that he doesn't necessarily give himself the credit for the hard work that he's done. Sometimes he is so focused on trying to improve his skills so much that he kind of becomes blinded to the progress that he is making. So in this case, I do feel that this strength card reverse kind of shows that right now he's in a good place, so it's not showing off in a negative way. However, he should still give himself credit for the progress and the hard work that he has put in this project, because that will give him a lot more confidence than what he already has, which will definitely be more beneficial because it will allow him like the wiggle room or the free space to continue creating in a way that it doesn't feel draining. The other card that we have right here is the King of Cups. And here we have a little snail. So I do feel that there's this sense of like slow and steady wins the race. And I do feel that he feels very comfortable with such an energy. He's not rushing to be at the top of the top. He's not forcing himself or pushing himself to be successful overnight. Like, I do feel that he is in a state, or he has right now a mentality where he understands that he will reap the rewards of his hard work when it's time. So he's not trying to compare himself to others, which in this case is very good, because it can be very discouraging if he goes like, oh, why is my solo not doing like this, like comparing himself to other people, because at the end of the day he's a different person with a different journey. Which, I mean, I do remember clearly when I think it was like the twin flame reading for Dino, I got that he will succeed a lot when he meets his partner, like his lifetime partner, which for some people that could be very unfortunate, because it's like, okay, where they're at then. But with him, I do feel that it's like there's a lot that he can do on his own, of course, but when he partners up with someone, the energy flows so nicely that then he's able to almost like come out of his shell and show this other side of himself. So this, I do feel that because of that, if he's aware of it or not, I'm not too sure. So it could be frustrating at times because he feels like he has not reached his full potential, but at the same time, it shouldn't necessarily discourage him. That just kind of shows that there's always so much that he can give, and there's so much that he can improve. And right now, he is in a place where he understands that there's no rush to the finish line, or he is doing okay because whatever definition of success he has accomplished that. And because of that, it doesn't really matter what people think or say, he's going to be pretty content. So this King of Cups tells me that he has reached this, like, I'm thinking of the word, like, stasis. Like, I don't know what that means. But he has reached a point where he feels very confident on his situation. He feels pretty confident on his skills. And this King of Cups usually symbolizes someone that has the emotional maturity to overcome any chaos or overcome any situation. A King of Cups is very compassionate, very gentle, very kind. And I do feel that this shows that he is in a very good place as a person. And also that his maturity is in a very good place for him to overcome any obstacle. If anything, the only thing that he will have to work on is to show the kindness that he gives to others, show that to himself a little bit more. Just so like that he can continue hyping himself up. So basically turn the strength card upright. But yeah, also with this King of Cups, it kind of shows that he feels very emotionally stable. So he trusts in his heart. He follows his heart. His intuition is very good. So he does what he feels comfortable doing. And I'm not saying this in like he's staying in his comfort zone, as much as I'm saying that he's not overdoing it, like he's not pushing himself. And also with this King of Cups, it kind of shows that he's very nice and gentle with other people. So that could also explain why with this Empress card, he is attracting a lot of good attention as well. With that said, let's jump into his career and figure out how Dino's career is doing right now. Oh, a card just flew out. We have left leg submission with Hod. So right now, again, this whole thing of like surrendering, like he's allowing his career to just go in the course that it has to take at the speed that it has to go. Like he's going at his own pace, doing his own thing, and he feels very comfortable. I'm seeing all of like these waves that the robe that this person that this angel has. It makes me think this, like it looks very similar to the Empress mushroom that we have right here, which makes me think that there's this overflowing abundance in his career, which I mean it makes sense because that's kind of what I've been focusing on, even though I was talking about his current energy. But there's also like this white orb on top of this person, so this kind of shows me that in Dino's career he has clarity. There's this purifying, cleansing energy that allows him to not be influenced by other people's advice, by other people's thoughts or ways of life. Like he's so focused on who he is as a person and what he wants to do in his career that he is able to stay abundant and in a way pure, because he's just staying loyal to his own ideas and who he is as a person. He's not focusing on what other people are saying. He's not focusing on what other people are doing. He's just focusing on himself, and that does allow him to not be influenced by other people's negativities or shortcomings or limiting beliefs. Also, there's a lot of green and yellowish blues colors in this card, so this kind of tells me that, making me think of this King of Cups again, that he is connected to his heart. He is following his intuition or following his heart, so doing what he enjoys and what makes him happy. Also with that yellow makes me think of the solar plexus, so he is pretty creative and confident and just optimistic overall, which is allowing him to stay unbothered, if that makes sense. Also with the blue, that kind of talks that he has a lot of clear communication, and when I saw that white orb on top of this person, it made me think that in Dino's career he has a lot of clarity because he has this strong connection or this strong communication with himself. He's able to speak up for himself. He's able to say the truth to himself about what he thinks, what he believes, how he feels, and in exchange he's able to be very truthful to the people around him. So I do feel that this has created this very clear space for people to communicate to him truthfully, and in exchange he does that as well, and that does create like a space where there's no room for misunderstandings, there's no room for negativity, because it's like, okay, you have something to say, just come up with it, say it. And I do feel that by having that attitude, it does help just not dwell too much on anything negative, and that has made it possible for Dino's career to, well, or allowed him to stay in a space where in his career he's pretty unbothered. It's like he does not entertain anything that is not meant to stay in his life. May it be an idea, maybe a situation, maybe a person. He does not entertain it at all. So let's get more details about Dino's career. We have the Ten of Cups reverse, and we have the Six of Swords reverse. So this is not, I'll tell you this is not bad, even though both of these cards are very good upright. So the Ten of Cups talks about a happily ever after. It talks about someone that has reached their fairy tale type of ending. And with him in reverse, I do feel that in Dino's career, he has not fully reached his goal. He has not reached whatever idea of like happily ever after is for him. Like he hasn't accomplished his goal in his career. So like whatever career he visualized or whatever future he visualized for his career, he has not quite gotten there yet, and I don't think he's anywhere close to it actually. I do feel that he is very ambitious, so he has a very big goal in mind. However, he understands that if he truly wants to reach the amount of success or the goal that he has in his mind, it's something that he will prefer to cultivate slowly rather than reaching the stars overnight. I do feel that he has like this mentality of like easy come, easy go, right? So he understands that if he gets something very quickly, he could lose it just as quickly. However, if he were to slowly cultivate that success or slowly reach that goal, he feels like he will be able to reach the top, and even though it takes longer, it will be in a sturdy foundation, so it will last for generations, or it will leave quite an impact, quite a mark, quite a legacy. So I think if he has that mentality, that could explain why we saw earlier that he is in no rush to be successful, and why right now he feels pretty comfortable and pretty confident of where he's at right now. The other card that we have right here is the Six of Swords reversed. Usually this card upright talks about someone that is walking away from negativity, is walking away from problems and chaos, and it's not necessarily in a like I'm avoiding these issues. It's more like I will not entertain this problem. I will not bother with it, because the Six of Swords, Swords energy is all about our mind, our intellect, our communication. So it's kind of like not allowing negativity to stay in our mind living rent free. So with him, it's like with this card being reversed, I think it bothers him a little bit that he doesn't know quite yet how he's going to reach whatever this Ten of Cups symbolizes for him in his career. So like whatever his long-term goal is, it bothers him sometimes that he doesn't know how he's going to get there or if he will get there. So, he has, like any normal person, he has fears and doubts that sometimes creep into his career or in his life. However, I do feel that sometimes even though he's okay playing the long game, it could be quite discouraging or frustrating for him sometimes, not knowing if what he's doing right now, in a way, will pay off. So even though he has kind of surrendered into this mentality of going at his own pace, doing his own thing, and trusting that it will pay off, I do feel that these two cards in reverse kind of shows that sometimes he gets a bit frustrated that he can't really practically or realistically see how he can make his long-term goal, how he can accomplish his long-term goal. So these two cards don't feel necessarily too bad. I think this just kind of shows that even though Dino's in a very good space and he kind of knows how to manage himself in the situation that he's in, it doesn't take away the fact that sometimes he still feels a bit discouraged and that sometimes he himself doesn't know all the answers. I think that with the cards that we saw previously, it may come off as him like knowing it all, or just being super stable, that it's like that's not normal. But these two cards kind of show that he's still human. Even though he's in a good place, even though he feels pretty good about where he's at right now, he's very ambitious. He has a big goal in mind that he wants to accomplish. Therefore, these two cards just kind of show us that he's still on his way of achieving those goals, and that sometimes he will reach these periods where he doesn't know, or like he starts overthinking how will he be able to make his dream come true, and it could be a bit overwhelming for him sometimes. So I feel that's why the Six of Swords reversed is here. It's kind of like one thing that he can't kind of like walk away from, or a doubt that he can't get rid of, is that little voice like in the back of his head that tells him, but what if we don't make it, or like, is it even possible to achieve this dream, whatever it may be. Now let's go into the next section of his reading, which is his love life, and figure out how is Dino's love life doing. So we have Angel of Divination. Right now, his love life seems like he's just kind of leaving it up to, in the air, you know, leaving it to destiny, leaving it up to fate. I don't think he's pushing much for his love life. Like, he's not rushing it, he's not pushing it, he's not how should I put it? It's very similar to the submission card right here. Like, he has surrendered the results of anything in his life. So in his career, he's just focusing on himself, and he's not getting too attached with the outcome of things. And in his love life is something similar. I do feel that he is just allowing his heart to guide him to the right person or to the right people. He's not forcing himself to be in a relationship, may he want it or not. Like, he's not forcing it. So what I'm saying is, like, if he wants a relationship, he's not forcing himself to find someone, or he's not actively looking for someone. And if he doesn't want a relationship, he's not constantly avoiding people and be like, I don't want relationships. So I think he's in a very neutral state, if that makes sense. So this angel of divination makes me think that he may have a spiritual connection with someone, like some sort of soulmate, and it's somewhere out there, but he's not actively looking for this person, and he's, again, also in no rush to find this person. But let's take out some tarot to get a better idea of, like, what's going on here. More details about Dino's love life. We have the Five of Wands reverse. Sure. We have death. And we have the Three of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so the Five of Wands reverse kind of shows me that he's not fighting, he's not putting resistance in his love life. And because of that, it's going pretty smoothly. Even if it may seem like nothing is going on in his love life, he's not putting pressure into it by, like, he's not trying to enter a relationship, he's not avoiding people, so I don't think he's necessarily hurt, so he's not avoiding relationships. But this Five of Wands reversed kind of shows that he's not fighting it, he's not resisting it. So, like, whatever, like, spiritual connection he may have with someone, like some sort of soulmate out there, he's not fighting it or going against it or neglecting himself from being with this soulmate. I think he may have not met this person quite yet, or he's not working with this person yet. I think the reason why that is because he hasn't reached the right time for him to meet this person, because the Death card usually talks, okay, first of all, Death is a Major Arcana card, which to me is always like a checkpoint of sorts. When you have a Major Arcana, is like a big thing, big situation, energy, or cycle that we have to encounter to learn, like, the life lessons that we were meant to learn. So with this Death card, it kind of feels like he will meet his soulmate, most likely romantic. He will meet this person when he goes through a very big transformation, where he, all of a sudden, it feels like he's a completely different person, or he went through a situation that kind of pushed him to think differently or live his life differently. And I'm saying that because Death talks about, like, the end of a cycle and the rebirth or the beginning of a new journey or a new cycle. So it kind of feels like right now he's not resisting change, he's not forcing for something to happen, and he's not running away from something that's happening. So this kind of shows, again, that he's in a very, like, mellow state. He's in a very neutral stance. Like, he's, like, how should I put it? Dino is doing everything that he needs to do for things to get done, but he's not pushing for more to get more than, he's not doing more than necessary for things to get done. I do feel, in a way, he's not overdoing things, and that is in all aspects of his life. Anyway, so this Death card kind of shows that when he goes through this very big transformation where he becomes, like, this new person, or begins to do things differently in his life, that goes in more alignment with who he is as a person, then that's when he will meet this soulmate. Now, these Three of Pentacles reverse kind of tells me that he is meant to have a project with this person or work with this person in his career. So whoever the soulmate is could be someone that will have quite a big influence in his career, or it's someone that he will like collaborate with. So I'm not necessarily saying that this person is an artist as well, because this person could be also behind the scenes and like the creative aspect of his projects, or someone that will help through social media, or I don't know. It's like this person will work with him. Like he could have like this could be some like someone that will help him create a business that is not related to music necessarily. Like this could be someone that I don't know, maybe Dino does like an ad some, or like he has his own beauty brand for whatever reason. I don't know if he's even interested in that, but if he were, then he could meet this person through that and they could work on this together. However, this card in reverse, it just kind of tells me that either Dino or this person that I've been like talking about are not in the right state, either do not have the right resources or are not in the right places in their career to be able to work together. So I do feel that this card being reversed kind of shows that even though it's kind of written in the stars or whatever for Dino to meet this person and work with them, like collaborate with them somehow, the reason why it hasn't happened yet as well is because either one of them or maybe both of them are not in the right stage in their lives to work together, or maybe they just haven't reached the level necessary within their career to be able to collaborate in whatever it seems like they're destined to work in. But anyway, in Dino's love life, he's doing pretty well. He will meet his person when he goes through like a very big, maybe even spiritual transformation, and he will most likely work with this person or collaborate with them. Something that will be beneficial to his finances and his career, even his networks. Now, let's go on to Dino's healing messages to figure out anything else that has to be said for him or to him. The first card we have here is a Stag Spirit with Take the Lead, but it's reversed. So there might be this thing where Dino may feel like he can't really do anything to get his goals or to get like his life going and like moving forward. But with this being reversed, I do feel that the reason is that he still has some work to do with himself, and I think it's not necessarily because he's in a bad state, because we kind of saw that he's being like, he feels very confident, he's following his heart, he's constantly cleansing himself, so he's not resisting anything. There will be a time, like it hasn't happened yet, but there will be a time that he's like slowly building up for, not consciously though, where he will eventually have to take action, take the lead, get things moving, get things working. You know, he will eventually have to kind of take charge for things to continue moving in his career. In his life. I guess it's connected to his career. I didn't mean to say career, but if it came out, I guess that's where things are going to pick up eventually. So with this Stag Spirit reverse, it kind of shows like right now it's okay for him to kind of be on the download, just allowing things to happen and just taking action when necessary. It's like a good rest. But eventually he will reach a point where he will have to take action in his life and like take charge and be the one initiating the changes in his life. So with this card being reversed, it kind of feels like right now he hasn't reached that point, but he's like building up towards that. Or like life is building him up for that. And I do feel that it makes sense. Like he's in such a good place as an individual, as a person. He kind of already knows what he wants. He feels very confident, and he seems to be very grateful of where he's at right now, and his emotions, his heart are in very good alignment. So it's a matter of time before he reaches I was gonna say a tipping point, but that sounds kind of negative. He will eventually reach this point where things are going to change and he will have to transform. And the transformation that he is going to end up in is one where he will need to start taking the initiative for things to change in his life. But let's take out more healing messages. No, don't do this to me. So what other healing messages do we have? We have the Grasshopper Spirit reverse with Take a Leap of Faith. So again, this card feels like it's reversed because it's not quite time yet for him to take action. But the Grasshopper Spirit reverse kind of makes me think of the Fool in the Mirror Arcana in Tarot, which is supposed to be like this leap of faith of like just trusting that the universe has your back, trusting that things are going to work out, trusting that things are going to take off the way that they're meant to take off, and all it needs to, and the only way to trigger this change or this new chapter in his life will be when he takes action, when he takes the initiative to either accept, receive, or create change in his life. So I do feel, again, these cards are reversed because I think he hasn't quite reached that point in his life, but he's slowly getting closer and closer to like this turning point. So this Grasshopper Spirit and this Stack Spirit are both here to kind of like not warn him, because that sounds a bit negative as well, but it's kind of like just to tell him beforehand that this change is going to happen, so they'll be there to guide him through those changes, basically. Now let's get our last healing message. The last card that we have is the Mouse Spirit reverse with Tend to the Small Things. Now with this card, I feel that one of the messages that Dino is getting is for him to not overwork himself, to not overthink things, to not be so laser focused on like the little things in life. It kind of feels like someone that has been so focused on the things that work or do not work, and it's so small that he's starting to overthink something. So this card being reversed kind of shows that he should not be overthinking how will he succeed in his future, how is he going to manage the unknown that he will encounter in his life. It feels more like this Mouse Spirit is here to kind of tell him how to work with other people, how to delegate, that's the word, how to delegate tasks to others. That might be the type of leadership role that he's going to kind of step into. If Dino does start his own business, then he will have to let go of the mentality that he has to do everything on his own and kind of allow other people to take charge and do things. Now, the other thing that I'm thinking with this Mouse Spirit reverse, it could also mean that there is something that is so small, like it may not seem like a big deal to him, but that thing is something that he's overlooking, and the moment he notices it, that might be the spark necessary to trigger this new change in his life, where he will have to just kind of trust that things are gonna work out and take the initiative for that new chapter in his life to take off. So this Mouse Spirit reverse could mean that he could already start this new chapter in his life. It's just that he may have not seen like this little puzzle piece to complete the bigger picture, or there's just something within his routine, or there's something that he has to like rewire within his own system as a person, that the moment he like changes that or acknowledges it, then things are just gonna start taking off, or things are going to start making sense. So it may be like this thing of like one small change will create like this big after effect of sorts, which I think is going to be something positive. It's just that all of this cards being reversed kind of makes me think that it hasn't quite been triggered yet, or it hasn't started quite yet. So it definitely feels like something to look out for. Now, to end off his reading, let's just take out some tea leaves to see if there's any other information that we need to know about Dino or that he needs to know about himself. So let's just see what comes out. Let's see. So we have coins with money will be coming to you. So again, I guess a sign of success could be money. Then we have joke with feeling tied down or frustrated. So I do feel that even though I've been complimenting Dino left and right, saying that he's in a very good place in his life, that he is kind of just surrendering and allowing destiny to do its thing and bring him to the right places, bring the right people to him, I do feel that, as we saw with the Six of Swords reversed, there are times that Dino may feel a bit powerless or a bit helpless, because sometimes when you surrender and you lose that trust or you start doubting like your path, you reach this point when you're like, there's nothing I can do to make things happen, right? So that's why I feel that this card is here saying like Dino sometimes reaches those points, especially with his career, where he starts doubting and he starts going down the rabbit hole, or am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Are things going to work out? And I think this is just kind of showing that he's human. Even though he's meant for success and he's meant to, like, you know, get that fat wallet, you know, earn lots of money, there's still times that he goes like, okay, but like, am I really reaching my goal? Ah! 3 cards just kind of fell off. So the cards that fell off were Arrow with you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So again, is like, you know, when you're like in this whole thing about spirituality and you're like, okay, cards, tell me what is happening. Sometimes they go like, something is happening, and you're like, okay, what is it? And then you don't get an answer. Or sometimes as you go, you're asking cards, you're like, okay, when is it happening? And then you don't get an answer. So I do feel that this is kind of where he's at, where he's like, he knows he's meant for success. He knows he's meant for greatness. And he's like, okay, but why haven't I gotten it? Or why haven't I gotten there yet? And these 2 cards kind of show like the ever-ending cycle of knowing but not really knowing. It's like knowing something's going to happen but not quite living through it. It's like he starts doubting, he may get a bit frustrated if things are actually going to work out for him, but at the same time, it's like, you know, if you trust in destiny and fate, do know that you are on the right path. Regardless of what you do, you're on the right path. Will it take longer or will it be faster? Sometimes, depending on like what you do, yes, but he's always on the right path. And by he, I also mean you guys. Like, if you guys are like, you're listening to this and you were like, yeah, it feels like that sometimes, that message is for you as well. Anyway, so we have the Camel Spirit with persevere and you will overcome problems. Now, I saw the tortoise. I can't say that word. I've never been able to say it. Slowly but surely getting ahead. So these 2 cards kind of tells me, oh, especially if they're facing each other, that he will eventually overcome any obstacles, may it be his own doubts and fears, may it be actual challenges that get in the way of him achieving his goals. But these 2 cards right here kind of show something that we talked about earlier. With slowly but surely getting ahead kind of shows that Dino understands this whole idea of like, it's okay if he takes longer to reach his goal, as long as it's slow and steady, as long as it's stable, it has a strong foundation. So this card kind of shows that he still has that mentality. And also the persevere and you will overcome problems. These 2 cards makes me think that he's always ready to achieve more in life. He's always ready to jump into the unknown and achieve his goals. So I don't think Dino is in a bad place. He sometimes gets a little bit too much in his head, but aside from that, he's doing great. And that's awesome. Now, the last card that we have right here is love. So this kind of just shows us that the universe loves him. He's surrounded by people that love him and care for him and will support him. You know, maybe people within the industry, maybe his family, as I said, the universe, fans. You know, there's people out there that want him to succeed and want him to do well. and I think he is aware of it. I just hope that he is able to actually feel how much people care for him, because that can be a very reassuring feeling. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm very happy that things are going out well for Dino. You know, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video, I really admire and I really love Dino. So I really wish for him to do well in life. I really wish that he accomplishes his goals and that he just has a happy life. Anyway, make sure that you guys wait, stream it, enjoy it, support it, and hopefully Dino continues taking out more stuff on his own that we can continue supporting, and if not, we can definitely support him while he's in 17 doing his group activities as well. So I will see you guys on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. I hope that you guys found this entertaining, and if not, that you learn from it. I do feel that there's a lot of things here that could be very helpful for people out there that are going through their own spiritual journeys and just going through their own life. So I'll see you guys on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye.